Sir Gary, it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. Can I applaud my friend, the Honourable Member for East Devon, for bringing this important debate to the House today. It wasn't that long ago that we across the House were celebrating British farming. As you all know, and I'm conscious that I'm probably one of the few people that does not have a farming background or a link to it, the industry does employ over 4 million people, and it is about £120 billion to the national economy. Within South West Hertfordshire, about 65% of our land use is for agriculture. As someone that does come from a position of not many years of farming experience, definitely not as many as the Minister who is in his place, I have proactively spent several months learning a lot more about the industry. Back in June, I held a roundtable in conjunction with the NFU, and a lot of the issues raised, I think, will be common across the country. These included rising costs, especially fertiliser, the VAT threshold for those that decide to have farm shops, and also rural crime, the tools and caravans especially, and the police response. I'm lucky in Hertfordshire that I've got the excellent David Lloyd as our Police and Crime Commissioner, and he's very proactive in this measure. In a follow-up meeting with some farmers back in August, I went to the PE Mead farms, and they farm over 800 acres. And the issues there, I think, while it doesn't feel like it today, but related to heat waves, and actually how the different changing weather patterns will influence farming going forward. And I'm conscious that the Minister is an excellent farmer in his own right, so may not necessarily have the answers, but I'm trying to put it on his radar that these are important issues across the industry that, where appropriate, we need to think how can government best support them. One of the other things I did during recess was work experience. So one, I did spend a day with farmers, actually the PE Mead farm that I referred to earlier, just to fully appreciate the trials and tribulations of farmers. And I know this was mentioned a bit earlier, but mental health is a really massive issue. The ONS figures from back in 2015 suggested suicide rates for male farmers were 3 times higher than the national average. That cannot be right. So we do need to think what more we can do to support this really vital industry. You know, unfortunately with the war in Ukraine, we've seen that food security is going to continue to be a massive issue. And while there is pressure for development or change of land usage, we are losing, my worry is we're losing a skill set that is really important. Once it's lost forever. In terms of education, and it's a personal plea to the Minister on this one, one of the few pieces of casework that I've been successful on, really successful on, was catchment areas of schools. I had a young child whose parents were farmers and had to live on the farm. But because of the location of the farm versus the school that child wanted to go to, they were outside their catchment area. That, for me, feels like penalising a family and their children for doing the right thing and ensuring that we have continued food security. So if you could take that away and speak to education colleagues about how do we make sure that where it's critical infrastructure related things like food production, education, catchment areas, there is the ability to at least appeal and be considerate of that. I'll keep it short because I'm sure my learned colleague will have more to say. Thank you, Sir Gary.
Thank you very much.